Welcome to the Online Course Masters Show, where we learn from the best online course creators how to better create and sell our very own courses. I'm your host, Phil Ebener, and today's episode is all about mastermind groups, what their benefits are, how to start one, how to run one properly. And to do that, I'm actually going to let you listen in on a mastermind call I had with my own group last week. You'll hear some familiar voices and you'll get some great tips for having the best Black Friday sale ever. Visit onlinecoursemasters.com for show notes to watch the video version of this episode and see an archive of all our past guests. Please subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen. Please, if you haven't done so already, leave a review for this show wherever you listen to it. Now, let's get straight to the interview. All right, everyone, Phil Ebener here, and this is a very special edition of the Online Course Masters show. Today, I'm bringing you listeners and viewers into my mastermind call. This is a weekly call I have with other Udemy and online teachers who are just amazing. And you know them, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They've all actually been on the show so far, and they've all given great interviews in the past. So you can listen to each of their episodes to learn a little bit more. But with this episode, we're just going to try to have sort of a normal conversation like we would and let you guys in on, what we talk about during a mastermind call. So everyone, welcome to the show. And I'll just start and go through. We've got Diego Davila here, who is an amazing instructor. Diego, say what's up and give a little intro.
Hey guys, Diego Davila here. Well, welcome to the Mastermind group. I'm happy that you are listening to this or maybe watching to this video. The group is great. My name is Diego. I am teaching on Udemy for 3 years, something like that, yeah. I think I started the same month that Scott started teaching on Udemy. I think it was October 2014 or something. I teach social media marketing, digital marketing, Amazon. And yeah, it's exciting. If you are listening to this, probably you are an online instructor or you are planning to become one. And yeah, here you are on the best podcast. I recommend you to listen to all the episodes. And yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Diego. We've also got Scott Duffy in the house, the infamous Scott Duffy. How's it going, Scott?
Infamous, for sure. Hi, guys. Glad to be. We have this call every week on a Monday. And so this is a special one being recorded. I was on Online Course Masters episode 2, and in retrospect, I wish I was on episode like 25 because I think you've built up your following since then. I may have gotten shortchanged. So go back and download episode 2, and you can listen to my pearls of wisdom.
Awesome, Scott.
And today happens to be the 3rd anniversary of my launch of my first course. So as Diego's saying, it was October 30th for me. 2014 when my first course went live and I got my first sale. So today's a special day for me.
And Scott was reminding us that our mastermind group has been going on for just about 2 years now, and it's rotated through different members. And one of the other members here today with us is Joe Paris. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, Phil? Really appreciate you putting this together for us and us getting together here again. Just wanted to say that this has been an awesome experience for everybody, I think, just because it's a great little community that we have in the mastermind. It's hard to find a lot of people that kind of, you walk around on the street, hey, what do you do? That kind of do this work. So it's really great that we kind of can bounce ideas off of each other and we can kind of just kind of see what's trending, what's not trending, and really kind of help each other. I know there's been some really great ideas that I'm now starting to implement that have come from this group. So just really grateful and appreciative of our little weekly meetings here.
Yeah, cool, Joe. Thanks. And the other members of the group right now, I'll give a shout out to Jackie Seidel, who actually her episode just launched today as of recording this, but probably a few weeks ago by the time you're listening to this. But Jackie's interview is a good one. And then Ravinder Deal, who teaches Bitcoin on Udemy, on and off Udemy. They couldn't make it to the call today. And that's what happens with these mastermind calls. Sometimes people can make it, sometimes they don't. We try to be as dedicated as possible to making it on a weekly basis. And basically the structure that we usually go through with our mastermind call is we usually just chat when we get on the call. We say what's up, what's been going on the past week. Then we each give like a more formal recap of what we've been working on in the past week. We each go through goals or things that we want to get done for the upcoming week. And then sometimes if there's a big problem or something that we're having, we bring it to the group and we try to get some help from them. Usually it's a pretty free-flowing conversation though, and we're gonna kind of just dive into that shortly. But first, Joe kind of kicked it off with what he likes about the mastermind call, but let's go back to Diego. And what is it about this mastermind call that you're enjoying, or what do you think is beneficial about having a mastermind call for people in general?
I think it's great because we have a goal, right? We are online instructors. We have the business and we want to grow. And in the mastermind, we have the chance to chat with people like this group that have the same goal. Everyone in this call, we have the goal to grow and to help more students to grow the business and reach more people, right? So basically, if I am working alone by myself and I try to come up with ideas, I will have some ideas. But when we create a group like this, and you that are listening can also create a group, wonderful things happen, because you put the thing that you are struggling with you share with the group, and the group help you to find a solution, maybe with ideas, strategies. And yeah, for me personally, I am in this group almost since the beginning. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. And if you have the chance to have a mastermind group, you need to do it because it's worth it. And it's a time that you spend well. And I think the mastermind field started with Napoleon Hill and Henry Ford when Henry Ford was creating the Ford Motor Company or something like that. I'm not sure about the real story, but it's something like that. And since then, people are doing mastermind groups, and today is very famous. I know that Pat Flynn had a mastermind group and some online entrepreneurs too. And here we are. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Scott, what do you think about that?
Yeah, basically, absolutely. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich emphasizes the concept of having this mastermind group. I don't know if he invented it, but it's definitely, I think it's good to have, a lot of us are part of like the Udemy Studio or the Instructor Club, or there's different Facebook groups that have several hundred members. There's not that intimacy there. I can't share, I'm not going to post my weekly goals in the Udemy Instructor Club, right? I'm just not going to say these are the 5 things I want to get done this week. I can't really share my victories. I know some people post, I just got a good review, or I just got 5-star review, or whatever. That's great, but you really should have, once you are at a certain pace and a certain level, you just can't sort of go and say, hey, I just, passed this extra revenue level every couple of months, right? Like you're not going to do that. So it's good to have a group with that's intimate, that you can share things that you wouldn't share when there's hundreds of people. I think that we can all be honest with each other to a degree that is genuine and is not like you're not exposing yourself to ridicule or criticism, or, the internet has a pretty big memory. But here I can tell you about some sort of campaign I'm going to try, ad campaign or whatever. And then I can be honest and say it was a disaster and I lost several $100s, and we can be. So I think there's just the intimacy. We do post in our group the weekly goals. So after the call, everyone writes down, I'm going to record 5 videos. I'm going to finish this course. I'm going to do this. Just the act of doing that actually gets it down on paper. And so there's some benefit to stating out loud that you will do this. So I think it's, to Diego's point, find yourself a mastermind, find yourself a group of people who are, you're compatible with. We don't compete with each other here. The 6 of us are not really competitors, even if we have courses in the similar space. And in fact, Phil's done courses with almost
Joe,
everyone.
Diego.
Yeah.
Working on with Rob soon.
Yeah, but him and I are mortal enemies, and so we'll never do a course together. But other than that, everyone else is, we help each other. So that's something you're not going to get from a group of 500 people.
Yeah, totally. And I think the thing is that like Diego said, it's just like a group of like-minded people, and it keeps me sane when the rest of the week I'm mostly just by myself behind a computer. And so I don't have an office to go to, and I don't have people to bounce ideas off of. So even if we're not like, we don't have that strict of a routine or schedule. We don't have like guests coming on our masterminds. I've heard people doing that, kind of having a really specific schedule of your mastermind call. Ours is pretty free flowing, but it's just a good, I don't know, for me, it's Monday mornings when we do it. For everyone, it's during Monday. And it's a good way to just get the week started. Joe, was there anything you wanted to add about that, or any advice for like how people can actually start a mastermind call? Because I'm sure people are listening to this and they're like, yeah, I want to do a mastermind, but where do I find those people? How do I get started?
Yeah, I think the best thing about our group is the fact that we're all on a very similar level when it comes to online teaching. So we all have multiple courses. We've all been doing this for numerous years now. This is going on my third year. And that right there, just that like-mindedness is really, really important. So finding other people that are kind of on the same level in the sense of like just understanding of where you are, I think that that's very important. And that's what, kind of holds our group together, is we have a lot of people that have, like I said, been doing this for kind of a while. We all know how to kind of create courses, edit the courses, do all that kind of fun stuff. So it's just taking what we have, our unique skill sets, to that next level. And I would just say to find a mastermind or kind of create your own is don't be afraid to reach out and to put yourself out there. I think, like Scott was saying, with this group, we can kind of just like be ourselves and really just share and not feel intimidated, like if we make mistakes or if we have any wins too. Like, I think that, I don't think there's any jealousy or any of that coming from this group. Like, we genuinely really want to help each other. And, I think that that's a really cool place to be. So as long as you come from that kind of mindset and frame and you kind of just put yourself out there and just let it happen, I think you'll attract the right people for sure.
Yeah. And just following up with what you said, I think everyone brings something to the table here. We all come from different walks of life. And while we're all like at a very similar level in terms of experience with online teaching, some of us are better at the marketing side, some are better at the creation side. And that's what I like about just having this group in general, is just being able to get advice from people from all over the place.
Yeah. And also, guys, one thing that we need to keep in mind when we're creating a mastermind group is that you don't need to think how you will get value from the group. You need to think how you will add value to the members of the group. That's the goal of the group. You go there not for you to learn or you to take advantage or in some way of strategies or anything like that. You go there to teach, to help the people that are on your group. This is your small family. And you need to be there for the group, for these members when they need help. You need to share your knowledge. You need to help in any way. And by doing that, you will see that you will get great results too, because you will learn good stuff. If you go with the intention of helping, you will see that at the end of the call or at the end of the month, after a few calls, you will see that you learn amazing stuff. You learn strategies from the members. So you need to keep in mind the desire to help the group and not just to go there to get value from others and do not contribute,
Yeah, I love that. And another thing I think too is that you have to be dedicated to yourself to attending the meetings every week, or at least as many weeks as possible. And that's something we keep each other accountable to doing. But this group has also gone through multiple members who have gotten a lot of benefit for a certain period of time, but then they found that they were either too busy or they just couldn't show up to the meetings anymore. So they've kind of cycled through, and the group has kind of morphed. But that's another thing, is that you need a group that's going to consistently stay motivated and show up. And also having one point person who sets up the meetings is always beneficial, but sometimes you have to share that load. But Scott Duffy is the one who lately has been taking that, and he's the one setting up the meetings. In terms of like the tech stuff, Scott, what are we using to run our meetings? And we've got our Facebook group as well, but any sort of advice there?
So yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. Now we don't record our meetings. Some groups, I would imagine, record it, similar to the Hangouts on the Air, where you record it and it's available after. We don't record it. We use just a regular Google Hangouts. You just start a call, we hold our meetings at 12 noon on my time, which is 9 a.m. your time. And so I just go in and start the call and send the link out to the member. So no fuss, no muss. Google takes care of it. No software required, right, for Google Hangouts. The one thing that I did do for a period was I kept notes. So if we were talking about websites or something, some cool AppSumo deal or some kind of, whenever we brought up something cool, I would keep it down and we keep a running file within the group. But that's not even 100% consistent. Because we're not always, it's not a formal thing where everyone's sharing new links every week. So it's not like, anyways, the value we get is the value of being here in real time and not necessarily recorded or documented after. So it's really simple. It's just Google Hangouts. You won't believe that I'm terrible at organizing things. I don't organize parties. I don't connect, my friends email me to meet up. I never email them. So the fact that I'm organizing this is something of a miracle, actually.
You are doing a great job, man.
Yeah.
I just love this time, like this 1 hour where we're talking business. I mean, everyone who went to Udemy Live came back from Udemy Live with this energy, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so excited! Now I'm ready to hit, to get into a new course." This is our mini Udemy Live, right? This is like the six of us. Talk about either it's something that we heard, like we all have contacts within Udemy. So maybe we can sort of talk about stuff like that, or some new technique or something that I saw. I bought the latest Rob Percival course. I did this, I did that. And it's like 1 hour of Udemy Live every week.
Yeah. And then we get to meet up at Udemy Live, and it's even more special because we already know each other and can hang out once a year. And hopefully between now and next Udemy Live, we'll meet up somewhere. I know Jackie wants us to meet up in Austria for a boot camp ourselves, which might be fun. We'll see.
Yeah. Can you imagine a live mastermind in Austria?
That'd be great, huh?
Maybe we should do that and then just invite people and we can just run it and have our own little mini conference, like make it super small, like 25 people or so, but
Udemy Live unofficial.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, let's kind of jump into our just regular mastermind routine, kind of whatever we typically do, and go over a recap of what we've done the past week. So, Diego, how about you start us off and talk about what you've been up to the past week? So
last week, my greatest accomplishment was to order the iPhone 10. So I woke up at 2:30 a.m. on Friday, and I successfully will have my phone delivered by November 3rd.
Okay.
Which is the official release. So that's great.
How is that going to help you with your business?
Let's see. Maybe I can do more Facebook Live and YouTube Live with more quality on my smartphone. Let's say that.
That's what his accountant says. Yeah.
But yeah, I was working last week on a new course that I'm releasing this week. So I recorded videos. I am finishing editing right now and planning to record it to launch it in the next 24, 48 hours. And after that, I will invest the rest of the week and the rest of the month improving my courses, correcting lectures, updating information, doing live video on my Facebook groups and YouTube channels with my students, driving people to my courses in order to prepare for Black Friday and get more reviews and get more minute watch on all my courses. So basically, that's my goal for this week and the next and the whole month, actually.
Nice. Cool. Joe, how about you? What were you working on last week?
So last week was pretty crazy, actually. Two things. The first thing is I've been putting together a new membership site, and it's like 99.9% done now. I actually rewatched your video, Phil, and went back like step by step, bundled all the courses together, made it $9. Everything should be like ready to like launch. So I'm planning on launching and rolling that out here, hopefully the first week of November, just to kind of see and to test out how that works. I'm going to put a video on my YouTube channel and all that other kind of fun stuff. But this weekend, I was sponsored by a helicopter company here in Chicago to create videos for them. And this is what's kind of amazing about being an online teacher and everything else. I literally was just like walking up and down on Michigan Avenue, and this helicopter company has like a little booth, and they're like, yeah, come like join our helicopter tours, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you guys know or not, but like I have quite a following online and like I create videos. You guys ever, need something like that, let me know. Well, one thing led to another, and they gave me a free open door helicopter tour, and I got to film. So I actually just like created a short little video for my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be creating 2 little videos for them. Crazy experience. Like my feet were hanging out. We're flying over the city, amazing sunset. So that's what I was kind of doing this weekend, was like editing that video, and also like just recovering from the fact that I was like so high up, and like literally there was no doors on this helicopter, and like I'm just seat belted in. Like I still can't believe I did it, but yeah. So there's so many opportunities that can come about from the learning of filmmaking and editing videos and doing that. There are so many businesses that really need that kind of help, and honestly, I just reached out and, I showed them a couple example videos that I did, and they're like, this is really cool. Come make a video for us. And I got to have that experience. So pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so was it was a free ride? Was it an exchange for like promoting them during that YouTube video, or what was the deal?
Yeah. I mean, they just want me to kind of, the deal was for me to go up there, and the idea was to, get a lot of footage to create like a 30-second, sunset tour video or whatever it was that I would be doing, just to kind of like help their marketing and promotions. And then also, I said I would put the, a video on my YouTube channel, which has more than 20,000 subscribers now. And it's just a way to help promote their business, because, if they get 1 or 2 people from my following that go in there, I mean, they're profitable. So, it was again, it was something not super formal. And I was kind of surprised at how like seamless the process was. We just went back and forth a few emails, and they set up the tour. They're like, yeah, like just come at this time. Showed up, went in the helicopter, and away we went. So
nice. Well, that's awesome. And I think like the thing with them is like, if they don't have a time booked or something, of course there's the cost of the fuel and maybe the time for them. But if they don't have it booked, it's like, why not do a little promotion with someone for free? I'm currently trying to get someone to not sponsor my next version of the photography masterclass, which I haven't really talked about in the call yet, but I'm working on starting to brainstorm it. But I'm trying to get a camera company to donate some cameras that will be featuring in the class. And I'm like,
great.
I pitched like all the big companies, and I'm like, our last course has 110,000 students. At least half of those are paid students. These are people who are starting their photography careers, who are serious about like buying equipment. That's like the number one question that I always get. So it's like, to me, it seems like a no-brainer that they would want to sponsor my class, but who knows? We'll see. I haven't gotten any bites yet. You can see my dog Ashby in the back. That's what I've been doing, busy. But Scott, what have you been up to the past week?
Wow. So nothing as cool as Joe, unfortunately. But I've been working on a course. So, I think I've mentioned this a few times in our mastermind calls. I've had it fairly easy. Maybe I've had a little bit of writer's block, if you want to call it that. Since Udemy Live, I launched a course just before Udemy Live. I have not launched a course since Udemy Live. So that was July, August, September, October, and now we're going into November. So it'll be.
You haven't launched a course, but how many places have you visited?
Yes. I've traveled 3. So I've had 7 vacations this year. So, but there's been a few, after Udemy Live. But that's sort of, that's great. It's great to have this amazing amount of income, and to have not to even worry about being able to travel around. I can take time off work. I've worked out with my office here that I can take time off anytime I need, kind of thing. So it's all great except for my productivity, which has I've not created a course since July. So I'd been working on a course as a co-instruct course for I've done it a couple times before, but this one's going to be something pretty hefty. That's sort of been coming and going, but this past week I completed a new course on my own, and I'm just sort of so relieved. I haven't lit the launch button yet, but this week it'll be launched, and I'm just so relieved to have like a decent. It's going to be a 2 or 3 hour course, like a decent sized course, totally in line with what my students might want. I think Udemy for Business is going to like it because of the size as well. My existing students will like it. It's sort of it's a fastball down the middle, and I think a lot of people will swing at it. Nice. And then my co-instructed course is going to, I've got 2 weeks now before the Black Friday deadline. So my life is full of stress, pressure and stress all of a sudden.
Yeah. And this episode is probably going to go live right around when the Black Friday sale launches. So we'll see how that's going. But
I'll be a shell of a man by then.
But I think seriously. But I think what we do now preparing for Black Friday is good really any time of the year. It will help you grow your courses or before any other big sale. I'll just say what I was doing, and then maybe we can talk about what you guys are doing over like the next few weeks before Black Friday to try to make this the best Black Friday ever for you guys. So for me, this past week, last Wednesday, the biggest thing was I was recording a portrait photography class with my friend Will, and we were using a teleprompter for all of the just sort of talking head lectures that we shot in our quote unquote studio. And that was a first for us using the teleprompter. And shout out to Scott who recommended the Smart Prompt teleprompter app, which was just awesome. It's this app where you plug in your script and it follows your voice while you're talking, and it moves the script up in the teleprompter. So you don't have to set a speed. You don't have to do it manually. And it was just really made the whole experience more efficient while shooting. Will was in charge of writing all the scripts, and it took him a lot more time beforehand. But I think overall the quality is going to be better, at least when I'm co-instructing classes with friends like them, because we've taught classes before where it's taken an hour to record a lecture that's going to be like 3 or 4 minutes just because we can't say it the right way.
Yeah, I've been there.
So are you guys, I know Scott, so you're using teleprompter for some stuff. Are you guys using teleprompters for your classes now?
I am not. I tried teleprompter, but I am bad writing a script. I usually do the script for my promo videos to make sure I am delivering the best message, super optimized and everything. And for that takes me a long time, Phil. I don't have a teleprompter, but I am more like a press record and go guy, So I press record. I have my bullet points that I need to talk about on the video, on the specific lecture. And I make sure I cover all these on the lecture, and that's it. But yes, for the promo video, I do have the script, but I don't have the teleprompter. Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe?
Yeah, no, I have not used the teleprompter either. The only thing that I do script, as Diego said, was the promotional video. And then from there, I like to just, I wouldn't say like let it flow, but sometimes it sounds more authentic when you don't have things necessarily scripted. But I look back at things that are scripted. It's like, that sounded like really good, like, because you actually have like gone through and thought about like, okay, how you actually want this to come out. And it just takes, I think, honestly, about 10 times more effort to go through that. But then it could be worth it. So
I think it depends on the style, because I've like up until now, I like kind of just having a script, a bullet point outline and going with the flow. But I see a benefit in using a script and a teleprompter, especially with people who just struggle more on camera. But then there's the balance. You want it to feel natural. And sometimes when you're writing, it's different than how you actually speak on camera. So it can sound a little bit awkward or just like things you might want to add after. But then there's also the benefit of having the script afterwards where you can easily close caption it. You can create blog articles or a book from your script automatically. So there's all these sort of benefits of doing, I guess, both. But for like future classes where maybe for like the talking head lectures in a studio, we might script, but then when we're like out in the field, I'm thinking about my photography class, like when we're out in the field doing like demonstrations, we might just kind of go off the cuff.
I think there's a style difference too. Like my courses are all very technical. And so when I'm talking about, the Microsoft Azure networking service, I'm doing the talking head for that. So let's say I have a 1.5 minute, 2-minute video that starts this section. I'm not trying to sort of, it's not a soft, I want to be very careful, but it's more technical. Even though it's a talking head, I'm talking about specific terms and specific technologies, and I'm going A, B, C, and D. This lesson is going to cover this. To me, that makes sense to script when you're talking about, marketing, or you're talking about,
or when you're doing explain how like an application works. Like when I'm showing how Adobe Premiere Pro works, it would not make sense for me to script out everything, because it would just be almost impossible unless I went through the lesson myself. And while I was like actually teaching, I scripted it. But that's one thing with Udemy's feedback. They always get me back. Like when I do a course and I'm not scripting, they're like, one of their canned responses is, you should think you recorded your video at the same time as like blah, blah, blah. You didn't script it. And I'm like, well, it would just be terrible if I scripted that aspect, that lesson or whatever. So I don't know. It's good for some things, I guess good for not everything.
Hey, has anyone seen this new Udemy test video service? I don't know what's new about it, but they sort of launched more feedback, more helping you get your course created.
I saw that announcement, but I didn't know what it was.
Nothing. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it too.
Yeah, so I haven't tried it, so I don't know what it means, but they're claiming it's even easier now to get specific recommended feedback for your test videos. So it's actually a whole new section, test videos. So I visited it. And so your test videos live into this one page. Instead of going into the course and then going into the test video section, they pulled the test video out of the course level. And now you can create videos and get their, specific feedback. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the service is any different or just the interface is different. But they were claiming that this was a step forward in getting feedback on your videos.
I mean, it definitely seems like beneficial for someone who's just starting out, who's like, or earlier on, and they don't have their setup all figured out. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure I could probably get grilled and get some good feedback as well too. Cool. Well, something to check out. The other things that I was working on last week were just I'm doing this photo competition in my photography masterclass. It's an annual competition. It's the third one we've had, and every year it gets bigger, which is cool. But it's also more work. The first year, I think I had a couple hundred people submit photos, or a couple hundred photos. Last year I had about 500 photos. But when I ran the competition last year, people could submit up to 3 photos. This year, I'm allowing people to submit 1 photo, and I have almost 800 people who have submitted photos, which is insane. So I'm picking like the top winners next week or so. One thing that I was thinking about doing though is announcing the winners on like with Instagram or on my Facebook page, and telling people to, go to my Instagram page, and like over like the course of a week or something, I'll be like releasing. I have to make sure that's like okay, but I don't see why that would be against any rules of Udemy to like send people to my Instagram page to view the winners of the competition. Scott, do you know?
Yeah, it sounds like it's fine.
Yeah.
They allow people to post YouTube videos.
And they don't need to register or give you information in order to see that. They just visit your profile.
Yeah.
And of course, if they like your profile, they can just follow you.
It. Yeah. But I still don't get their email address. So it's kind of like, yeah. So that's what I've been working on. I hired a couple people to write articles about photography, which has been doing well. I hired someone to write a video production article, and that one maybe I'm more critical of the video production side of things because that's more of my expertise, but I didn't really like the article that was written at all. I was just like, oh, that's not what I would say. So that didn't work as well. So I thought, well, maybe I should write the video production articles for Video School Online, and I'll still have other people do the photography ones. But this week I'm just trying to figure out what I want to really focus on for Black Friday. What are you guys doing to prepare?
Phil, before we jump into that, man, we are 40 minutes in the call. Maybe we can tell people how they will leave a review on the podcast. Or something like that if they like it,
Hit subscribe.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Diego, because I never do that in my show, and I would really appreciate more reviews. I think I have a URL that I set up because Diego told me to, but if you go to iTunes, if you're listening to this on iTunes, please leave a review. It's just on the page for Online Course Masters. Also, if you're listening on the Online Course Masters website, which maybe a lot of people do, there's links to the podcast on iTunes and on Stitcher or wherever. And I really do need to set up I have a page. I'm going to find the page. I'll get back to you, Diego.
And if you guys go to the reviews on iTunes, you will see my name there. I was one of the first that I left the review because I really like your podcast. I honestly listen to that every Monday. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think we have 30 or so 5-star reviews at this point, trying to get a little bit more. But and my wife always has to leave during the middle of my call, so I'm saying bye to her right now. Bye. Cool. Yeah. So reviews, definitely something that I would appreciate. Helps me grow my show, and everything else helps grow the courses too if you leave reviews for the classes. So Black Friday though, what are you guys doing? Nothing. Scott.
Well, I'm really busy. I got so many courses to finish and create. I did a live stream into the instructor club talking about Black Friday. So if you're in the instructor club, you can certainly search for that. It's a 25 minute, 30-minute video talking about Black Friday specifically. But what I always do every year is I always re-record my promo videos. I think that's sort of the easiest thing you can do. You can sit down. You can create 5 promo videos today. If you've got nothing to do today and you're like, what am I going to do? Re-record your promo videos, and you can make them better. You can make them fresh and new. You can talk about, I'm so appreciative of the 5,000 students that joined this course and the 2,000 people who've left a review. So you should definitely join this course. So you can add your social proof elements. And I think it's also an opportunity just to freshen up the course. The thing we were talking about earlier too was if you want to try to encourage students to start watching your videos, because I mean it's kind of true that if let's say someone's bought 5 of your courses, and then the Black Friday sale comes and they see there's a sale, but they already have 5 of your courses and they haven't started any of them. Well, you kind of want them to clear some of that backlog. And so if you want to run a little contest or you want to encourage them to watch more of your courses, you want to encourage them to leave a review. So those were sort of the tips that I gave. I'm going to do all of those things. I'm going to try to get people to watch my videos. I'm going to try to get people to leave reviews. But most of all, I just got to finish these courses, man. I'm so bowled over.
Yeah. So I love that idea of creating new promo videos, but do you know, has that worked in the past? Have you seen an increase in sales or anything like that because of that? I know it's hard to track, but I'm just wondering if it's, worth your time to focus on the promo videos or just doing more of the competitions or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got to assess your own time and what the time that you have between now and when the sale starts on November 16th. So, and maybe even during the sale. So, to me, the way I look at Black Friday is there's going to be a huge spike in traffic. I don't know the exact numbers, but let's say that your course is going to be looked at 3 times more often for the 12-day period. I think it's a 13-day sale this year. So for 13 days, you're going to get triple the traffic than a normal 13 days. So that landing page, whether it's your title, maybe your title can be talking about 2018. Like you can just sort of make it seem like the best photography course for 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little thing like that. Your subtitle, your image. I was telling people, I was looking at Udemy yesterday, and the images, 95% of course images are terrible.
And they all look the same.
It's the course image has nothing to do with the course. When you're talking about programming courses, they've got a little like a cartoony thing that's just everyone's got the same image that Udemy, the Udemy creation service. Respect to those guys, but you can't take responsibility for your own courses, people, and create some awesome images, something that will catch your attention. So
look up, this is what I do. I always look up the keyword for my course and see what all the other thumbnails are. And then I try to make it different, like different colors or something, just like picking a background color that pops. And I'm looking, one that I need to change right now is like, I'm looking at my Premiere Pro. I searched Premiere Pro and all of them are the same. It's just the Premiere Pro logo, lots of purple. And even though purple is like the color of Premiere Pro, maybe I pick something like orange or something just to like make it stand out. A
splash of purple with an orange background or something, right?
Yeah.
So, and you know what, Phil, to be honest, people look at your course image and then they create their course image based off of after seeing what Phil's doing. So, as soon as I started adding my picture, so I went to my course images a couple of years ago and I took a portrait of myself and I started adding it to all my courses. All my competitors started adding photos of themselves. Before that, I was the only one. So people look at the leaders of a particular keyword and they copy it. But I think absolutely what you're saying is correct. You look at your competition, search your keyword, and if it's blue, 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 you have to find a way. If it's a Facebook course, let's say, blue has to be in there to make people think Facebook, but you have to find a way to sort of, it's called a pattern. They call it a pattern interrupt. So when someone's scrolling their Facebook feed or scrolling Udemy, something has to be different. It's called, pattern interrupt that you have to do. So course images, man, if you can just, find a way. So think about the tsunami of traffic that'll come through. If you can just bump boost your visits, the click links to your page by any means, then you're going to see a higher increase in sales during Black Friday than you normally would. And that could be your title, that could be your image. Promo video, maybe a lot of people buy stuff without watching the promo video, but I kind of take a little pride in my promo videos. I put a little extra effort into it. I use After Effects and I put text coming in, and I make sure that I'm using the law of thirds, and so I'm not centered in the so I put a little extra effort in my promo videos. That's just me, but yeah.
It could only help. I don't think it's going to hurt you to have a nice promo video and to update it with, like what you said, reviews or testimonials or some sort of proof that you've gotten in that class up until this point.
Right. Especially if the course is older. Like if you've got a 3-year-old course or a 2-year-old course, maybe if your course only launched 2 months ago, then there's no point updating the promo video. But
yeah. Cool. Diego, Joe, anything?
Yeah. Scott actually made a Facebook Live on Udemy Studio, right, Scott? About how to prepare for Black Friday. So I watched it the other day before going to bed. And it was, people said that what you watch half an hour before bed, it stay on your subconscious mind or something. So I watched it for 20 minutes before bed, but it was good.
Oh, I don't want to hear if you said you dreamed about me. I don't want to know.
No. So for Black Friday, guys, I'm doing three main things. The first one is to get more reviews and improve the reviews I have. The second one is to drive more people to my courses. And the third one is to update all my courses, creating new lectures, replacing all lectures. So the courses will display updated. Some students check when was the last time the instructor updated the course, and they will see that it was recently. And basically, the reviews, I am doing this. I have my email list, and most people in my email list are my students on Udemy. So I am always adding value to these people and doing live training and all that. So they are used to receive value from me on my email list. So what I am doing for Black Friday is I'm going to contact them and thanking them for being a student and all that, and explaining the importance of the review on Udemy. And I will ask for the review. I won't ask for a 5-star. I will ask for an honest review because the rules and all that. And even to people that already left the review, because some people are all students in specific courses. So I'll say to them, I'll show them how to go to Udemy and update the review if they want to update, right? Maybe they can put 5-star or they want to put 1-star. That's fine. I think most people will put 5-star because they are already on my email list.
Right.
And by doing that, I think I will get fresh reviews on my courses, right? The second point, the driving people to the courses, I'm planning to create a few Facebook ads and maybe YouTube ads in the next week. So I will, doesn't matter if they buy it or not, hopefully they will buy it. But the thing is that Udemy will capture them and will do that retargeting thing during Black Friday. And that's great.
That's what I was talking to Scott about before the call started, about this idea of running ads without really expecting to make money, but just driving a ton of traffic to our sales pages.
Yeah, now is the best time to do that because it's Black Friday and Udemy will invest heavy on ads, to these people.
It's true.
And the last point
but
is,
we're giving away all of our secrets.
oh, sorry, man. We can edit this.
No, this is the call. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and the last thing is the update the courses. I mean, go to your courses if you are watching this and see if there are lectures that you can add. Maybe you can do, I don't know, you can add more lectures to your course so the course will be updated, and that will help for sure during Black Friday.
Yeah, cool. I love it. Oh man, I need to get to work. Joe, anything that you're doing for Black Friday?
Yeah, I think honestly, what's going to be most important is just trying to get courses new courses onto Udemy right when the Black Friday sales hit. I remember they used to have like a new and noteworthy category, and maybe they still do on there. It's just not as prominent as it used to be. That was like key. Like I remember last year, I got like 2 or 3 courses right in that new and noteworthy category. And man, it made the courses sell better, convert better, and everything else because they were more visible. So my goal really is just get as many as I can up there. Hopefully it's, a couple here, and really just try and get as many people in as I can to help get searched more and just kind of get some more organic traffic, because I think we can all agree that the Udemy organic sales definitely outweigh a lot of the other sales, whether it be affiliates or even our own promotions sometimes. So it's key to get those organic ones. And one of the best ways to do that is just to launch right around the time of the sale and just really kind of get as many people in there as you can. So that's kind of what I'm going to be focusing on, and not too much onto some of the other stuff.
Cool. Joe, that's a great idea, man. One question: what's the best time to launch the course to be on that category when the sale starts? And do you have like a specific date, November 13 or something?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the specific dates of when the first day one of Black Friday is going to be. Normally it's like a good 10 days before the real Black Friday. So I would say at least 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. That way, it'll be one of those first courses that are still up there, because there's going to be a lot of other people creating and putting courses on Udemy now more than ever, since there's more instructors than there's ever been. Plus people are finding out about about Black Friday. So I would try to do it as close to the date as possible. And I give yourself a 2 or 3 day window just because it's going to take them time to review the course and, publish it. And then you're going to have to take a day or two maybe to market it. So I would say like 4 or 5 days at week at most. But you really want to try and just be like the new course that's like right then and there in that respective category. So I would say a week, 4 or 5 days should be a solid kind of time frame I'm shooting for.
That's cool, man.
The sale is at midnight, 12:01 a.m. on November 16th. And I imagine later on the 16th, middle of the day, is when Udemy sends out their first promos. They usually don't announce it until the afternoon of the first day. It does take, I think people are saying that it's taking 48 hours now for reviews. Well, for a brand new course that just launched, it's about 2 days before the review system approves those reviews.
Yeah.
To get new and noteworthy requires 5 reviews. I don't know if that's changed, but 2 days would be pretty tight. You'd want a couple of days more than that.
Scott, do you know how long the courses stay on that category? Let's say that we release a course this week and the course qualify, get the 6 reviews. How long usually stay on the new word category?
So if you're looking at the that category landing page, you stay there until someone else launches after you and bumps you over. So it's almost a measure of how popular that category that you've chosen is. If you choose like Polish language learning, you could be new and noteworthy for 30 days because there may not be that many of those courses. If you're doing iOS app development, maybe you only stay there a week because there's 4 other great courses that launch in the same week. So it's first, you're there up to a month, I believe, but it's based on how many other courses launch in that category.
This is so much good stuff. I might bump some of my other podcasts so I can get this out next week before Black Friday. And then maybe we'll have to do a recap episode to see if any of this stuff actually works for us.
I had an idea of doing a podcast where every week I would announce something that I would try. And then the next week I would talk about the results and then talk about my new experiment. Like, I'm going to run a Facebook ad driving people to my blog post. And then the next week, I spent $30 and I got this many visitors and this many sales, I haven't got time for a podcast, but if I was going to do a podcast, it'd be that.
I like that. Hey, actually, that brings up a question I have, because one thing that I've been doing, and we talked about actually, I don't know if I think it was a couple weeks ago, was this idea of I'm writing all these new articles on photography on Video School Online. And before I was linking back to my courses, and that wasn't allowed to be promoted through or sent through the Udemy educational announcements. So I decided, with the help of my Mastermind group, to take off any promotion of courses just so that I could send those blog articles to my students on Udemy. And that's been super awesome just because I'm getting a lot more traffic to my site. I'm getting people that are signing up for my email list, even though that's not really promoted through those educational announcements. It's just sort of like the secondhand thing that happens when people end up on my site. I guess my question isn't really about that, but I've been tracking my Alexa ranking, and Scott, thanks to you also, I installed the Alexa ranking Chrome extension, which I think helps. But like, how important is the Alexa ranking? Because it's kind of like I don't know if you have it in Canada or elsewhere, but like in the US, we have the Nielsen ratings for TV. It's like where people who have the Nielsen tracker box or whatever, it counts how many people are watching the shows on an average night.
I mean, real marketing agencies don't rely on Alexa. There are companies, one's called ComScore. Mm-hmm. The other's called, what's the other one? Quantcast. So there are, like ComScore will allow you to install a pixel in your website, and that becomes a more authentic way of tracking the visitors. But Alexa is an estimate, as you know. So you have the very fact that if you can have the toolbar, and you've heard that you get a better Alexa ranking by yourself having the toolbar, is a function of how inaccurate it is, right?
Yeah.
So, and like I think with Nielsen and television ratings, you can't volunteer to be a Nielsen family. You can't call up the Nielsen company and say, "Hey, send me one of your boxes." They're looking for objective people to install these boxes in their homes, so that they can get data. And now that we're in the digital TV era, your cable company that provides you the digital box, you have a box in your home, you don't even realize it. They're tracking what you're watching and selling that data to the television companies. So, I don't think Alexa is viewed as a professional platform. ComScore and places like that are actually more accurate. But why do you care about your Alexa ranking, I guess is the question.
I mean, that's a good question. I think just because it's fun to watch increase, and it's the only number that I know of that kind of tracks the ranking of websites. But I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I just like looking at it. It feels good to be increasing my Alexa.
Yeah, it's ranking. Like a vanity, right? Like you've got, it's like subscribers on YouTube and followers on Twitter.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess the more important number is seeing like actual traffic increase on my website, which I see on Google Analytics. So, and
even more important, how many sales of how much money comes to you based on people have visited your website and learned about you and then went on to buy something from you. That's the most important number.
Yeah. Cool. Well, do any of you have any questions or problems? It's almost been an hour, which is crazy. These calls always kind of just fly by. But do you guys have any other questions or comments before we wrap up this call?
For the people that are listening or watching this, I believe that every time we learn something, we need to take action. I mean, it's not enough just to listen to this and get motivated and you don't do anything. Because if we don't act, we won't have different results. So the only way to get the results that we want is taking action, right? So what do you do with the thing that you learn here? So make a list of things that you can do. And if you want to start a mastermind group, you can start one with your wife or with your husband, or with a friend. And grow from there. You can invite more people after that, and more entrepreneurs, people that you can help, and people that can help you. But it's very important to actually take action. So make that list. Start your mastermind group today. Talk with your wife, with your husband. Say, honey, we will start a mastermind group today. So first meeting tomorrow morning. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening and being here with us. And remember to review, right?
Awesome. Cool.
And hit subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Scott, Joe, any other comments? No.
I mean, just it's been a great talk again, and just a little, the things that like really make the difference are kind of those nuances that we do pick up on. Those little details make, a huge difference, whether it's, redoing a promo video or one little title change. Like those are the things that, compounded over time will make the difference. And I think that's why being a part of this group is wonderful. Even just today, like bouncing some more ideas around and doing some things, I think it's really going to benefit everybody. But to wrap things up, take action. I think the biggest thing, like Diego said, you got to apply it. It's an application. So hopefully after you guys have listened to this, it's now time to take action, rock and roll, and to do it and to stick with it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is to be consistent. So that's what I would kind of wrap up with.
Love it. Scott, any inspirational words?
Yeah, I think I do want to say you're looking at 4 people who have been, we started the call by saying that we've all been creating courses for 2 or 3 or more years. Now, it's a long-term process. I think if you're looking at creating a course one time, launching it, and then just sitting back and saying, "Oh, you know what? That didn't work. I'm going to go off and write an ebook or something." If you don't have the mentality of what Joe was just saying, like consistent action over time, you're not going to improve. You're not going to build this into something. I mean, you are. It is work. What I'll say something also. Diego, Joe, Phil, myself, Jacqueline, Rav, we work hard at this. It's not easy, and it's it's a full-time job for some. It's a second full-time job for some, and so it's not a get-rich-quick mentality. It's I want to become the best at this, and listen to a lot of people. Don't copy people, and don't believe in a single person as the guru who will take you to the promised land. There's no person who will you can follow. That is the one person to follow for the rest of your life. Take in everyone's opinion, and then make an action and do it every day. At one little tiny thing every day for a year, at least.
Love it. Love it. Cool. So everyone can listen to the individual episodes of Diego, Joe, and Scott, and also the other members, Rob and Jackie. Episode 2 for Scott. I'll link to that on onlinecoursemasters.com. Where's the best place for people who are listening to this to get in touch with you guys or follow you guys, though? Diego?
Man, I should make a landing page or something. Just kidding. You can find me on diegodavila.com. I hope to see you there.
And Joe?
Yeah, my website's a great place. It's just joeparis.com. You can watch my free YouTube videos, a bunch of free stuff on there. If you sign up right now, there's like 3 free courses I'm giving away. Udemy is another great place. And so is YouTube. So website, www.joeparis.com. Udemy is just my name, Joseph Paris is the instructor name. And then YouTube is just youtube.com/Joe Paris. So try to make it as simple for everybody to find me as well.
That's good. And we can check out your Chicago helicopter ride tour as well. Yeah, for sure.
Check that one out. It's I think it's a pretty cool edit. I think you guys will like it.
Cool. And Scott?
Do you own PhilEbner.com?
Yeah. I got PhilEbner.com.
So you guys all have your name. I mean, I don't own ScottDuffy.com, so don't go there. But my main site is videocourses.ca. So if you want to check out what I've got going on, videocourses.ca. I do create videos on YouTube, Scott J. Duffy on YouTube, on Twitter. I mean, I think people are sick of me, so follow these guys. Don't follow me.
I'll include links to everyone's websites. And of course, you can go to onlinecoursemasters.com to listen to all of the episodes. And we have a Facebook group, another thing that not everyone knows about. But if you go to Facebook and search for Online Course Masters, we have a group that you can join. And there's lots of people who are just getting started out and willing to give feedback and encouragement there. And maybe you could find other people who want to start a mastermind with you. So check that out on Facebook. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys, for the call, and have a good week. And thanks, everyone listening. I hope you enjoyed that episode. As always, if you want to fast track your success, head over to onlinecoursemasters.com and sign up for your free trial of my flagship program, the Online Course Masters Masterclass. Yep, that's right. It's a masterclass designed to take you from zero to hero, creating and selling your very own online courses. If you haven't done so yet, please leave a review for this show wherever you listen. This is how we can help expand our audience and help teach the world. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week in the next edition of the Online Course Masters Show.